2026 has started with a lot of excitement, especially because it seems we're finally going to see what we've all been waiting for, a song by Taehyung and Jungkook together. It all started when Jin, in a conversation, said that BTS could start forming groups by mixing the members in new ways. At that same moment, Jungkook asked Taehyung very seriously, a song, Taehyung SSI, and Taehyung, without hesitation, returned the question, what if we do something together once? To confirm it, they both said at the same time, shall we do a duet once? It was as if they had both been waiting for the perfect moment to float the idea, and they brightened the day for millions of people who now truly believe this duet is going to happen. The truth is, this idea isn't new. Many people have had a feeling that something was brewing because they themselves had hinted at it before. In several broadcasts, even while with Jin, they had already talked about the possibility of working on a song together. That's why, when they mentioned it again, we weren't surprised, but rather felt like finally. We know that Taehyung and Jungkook have always wanted to share more with us, and making music together is the best way to do it. That's why our hopes are so strong this year, because we feel it's the perfect time for their dream to come true. But of course, it's also true that it's been a bit of a struggle for all of us to get to this point, because the company that represents them has always put up a wall between them. If you notice, it's very rare to see them interact much in official videos or at events. They're almost always kept separate and in different shots. Sometimes it seems like they do it on purpose so we don't see them together. That's why, every time they manage to be close, even if it's just for a moment and as if they're challenging the staff, we're so happy. Because in those few seconds, you can see how much they love each other, the way they look at each other, and the special energy they have. It's such a real and deep connection that, no matter how many attempts are made to hide it, it always shines through. What we all want for 2026 isn't just to hear a pretty song. What we truly hope for is to see them free, to be together without anyone trying to separate them. We want this collaboration to be the perfect excuse for the company to give them a little more space so we can see them create, laugh, and be themselves, without so many rules. We love imagining the two of them alone in a studio, composing and having a good time, because we know something incredibly special would come out of it. We want this time to be different, not just a fleeting moment, but the beginning of a new chapter where we can enjoy their union without barriers. In short, this year feels like the definitive one. It's as if everything we've seen for years, all those looks and gestures we couldn't quite understand, now make sense and are about to explode into something wonderful. This Taekook duo isn't just about music, it's about finally seeing two people whose connection has always been very strong but somewhat hidden come together. We're absolutely confident they're going to surprise us, because they themselves gave us the hint. When Taehyung asks Jungkook for help with a sore neck, it's nothing more than a simple request. But what happens next is what touches so many people's hearts. Jungkook doesn't hesitate for a second. As soon as he understands what Taehyung needs, he's already at his side massaging him. That quick, direct gesture is clear proof of how much they care for each other. It wasn't something they planned, it just came naturally. It's exactly what happens with two people who truly understand each other, as if they know what the other is feeling just by looking at each other. And that's what makes their relationship feel so real, so genuine. Some people say their dynamic has changed or that it's just brotherly stuff and nothing more, but it's impossible to think that when you see moments like this. Jungkook's immediate approach isn't staged, it's a genuine act of affection and concern. You can't fake such an immediate and authentic reaction. And it's not the only example. There are countless other clips and photos where they're seen together in their daily lives, and the peace they exude is incredible. It's like watching a couple who've been together so long they don't even need to speak to know what to do. They complement each other in everything, with jokes, with affection, with a warmth that's palpable. Sometimes, in viral photos we've all seen, that mutual protection is evident. For example, when Taehyung goes to Jungkook to shield him from the cold, or when Jungkook adjusts Taehyung's clothes without him noticing. Small things that shout from the rooftops how comfortable they feel with each other. These details aren't staged. They happen because that's who they are, because they've built such a deep trust that their personal space has become each other's. And that trust is only achieved over time and with genuine desire. The most beautiful thing of all is that they don't try to be anyone other than themselves. The affection they have for each other is evident in the simplest things: a smile, the way they support each other while walking, or in this case, a neck massage because the other's neck hurts. These are the genuine things, the ones that demonstrate the strength of their bond. Many people who follow them closely know this because they've seen how that connection has remained just as strong over time, even in the most casual videos or photos where they don't even realize someone is recording them. The key to the authenticity of Taehyung and Jungkook's relationship lies in their ability to be themselves without filters. Gestures like the neck massage, shared laughter, or spontaneous support are not calculated at all. They arise from a connection that has strengthened over time. Often, the deepest relationships are measured not by solemn declarations, but by the ease with which two people care for each other in their daily lives. Taehyung and Jungkook embody this idea. Their dynamic needs no explanation, because their actions speak for themselves. The way they communicate demonstrates that they've built a space where they can both be vulnerable, where affection is expressed without fear of being misinterpreted. Ultimately, that's what's so appealing. They don't need grand gestures or declarations for everyone to see how special they are to each other. Their relationship is shown in the small things, in the details that go unnoticed by others, but which are the most important thing in the world to them. Seeing Taehyung and Jungkook together is seeing how two people have become each other's home, and that's something that can't be forced or faked. For years, those who have closely followed the dynamic between Taehyung and Jungkook have agreed on one fundamental point: the way they communicate transcends words. Whether surrounded by cameras or other people, they lock eyes as if the rest of the world had vanished. This silent language, this casual brush of hands, this instinctive tilt of the head when one speaks, it's not learned or rehearsed. It's a connection that flows with such palpable naturalness that it becomes evident even to those unfamiliar with their story. Jungkook, in particular, reserves these gestures exclusively for Taehyung, and this singularity is impossible to overlook, because it speaks of a mutual trust that doesn't need to be outwardly displayed to be real. The most fascinating aspect of their relationship is how it thrives on subtlety. They don't need public declarations or grand gestures for their bond to shine. It's in the way Taehyung laughs with his eyes closed when Jungkook does something silly, or in how Jungkook adjusts Taehyung's microphone without him even asking. They're tiny details, almost imperceptible to the untrained eye, but for them, they mean the whole universe. Watching them together is to witness how two people have woven a home into each other, a refuge where vulnerability and joy coexist unfiltered. There's no artifice or calculation, just the pure evidence of a bond that has grown over time, strengthened by complicity and silent understanding. However, something that's deeply striking is how certain people within the fandom selectively interpret these same interactions. The same gesture, the same look, the same tone of voice can be celebrated when it comes from some members and questioned when it comes from Taehyung or Jungkook. Are we seeing the same thing with different eyes? It's curious how personal preferences can cloud judgment, leading us to harshly judge what we applaud without reservation in others. It's not about comparing, but about recognizing that all the boys express their affection in similar ways. It's just that the public's reactions vary depending on who is involved. This double standard diminishes the sincerity of the gestures and reduces the possibility of appreciating the beauty of each bond for what it is. In the end, what makes the connection between Taehyung and Jungkook so special is its authenticity. There's nothing calculated or forced in their interactions, it simply happens, like the air they breathe. That spontaneity is what transforms each shared moment into a living testament to what it means to find someone who understands you without needing explanations. When Jungkook rests his head on Taehyung's shoulder, or when Taehyung whispers something in his ear and elicits that almost shy smile, we are witnessing something genuine, a piece of reality that needs no script or external approval. It's that naturalness that captivates, that makes them an example of how true affection doesn't need staging to shine. What's clear is that their relationship transcends labels and expectations. Taehyung and Jungkook have built a universe where mutual support, shared laughter, and profound respect are the pillars. There's nothing to hide and nothing to prove, because every gesture, every glance, already says it all. For those who observe them closely, it's evident that their bond is both rare and precious, a reminder that the best bonds aren't manufactured, they're discovered. And in that discovery, in that silent surrender, lies the magic that fascinates so many people, even those who don't yet fully understand why this connection makes them feel so much.